Good morning and welcome to the West Valley Industry Spotlight webinar. Today's industry focus will be Advanced Business Services. I'm your moderator, Christine Gannon, and I'm the CEO and founder of Brightworks Consulting. Before we start today, I'd like to share a couple of things with you to set some context around what we're doing with the Industry Spotlight. It's related to the West Valley Pipeline, which you may have heard of. It's the West Valley's regional workforce development strategy, and it's the only regional workforce strategy in the state. The West Valley is home to 1.7 million residents, and as you'll learn today, the pipeline for the West Valley helps to showcase the diverse and highly skilled workforce of the West Valley for the purpose of business attraction and economic development. The pipeline works to connect education and training providers, industry partners, and workforce development professionals to provide training and education that will arm residents and job seekers with the skills they need to be successful and to secure in-demand careers close to home. Before we introduce this series and give you a little more information, we'd like to hear a word from our sponsor.
Arizona State University. One university in many places. ASU's West Campus is a West Valley asset for nearly 40 years. 7 ASU colleges offer more than 120 different degrees, including 28 master's and PhD degrees in STEM, health, business, education, humanities, and dozens more. West Campus students learn beyond the classroom, partnering with industry, preparing students for the jobs of today and the future. ASU's West Campus, where students learn to thrive.
Thank you to our sponsor. So we've titled this progression of industry events the West Valley Industry Spotlight and Virtual Job Matching. It's a series which works in collaboration with the 15 communities of the West Valley. And this webinar series brings together subject matter experts in industry, workforce, training, and education to highlight the needs, opportunities, pathways, and resources for careers in target industries. You're going to hear from some amazing subject matter experts today. There's also a job matching component that will connect employers and job seekers based on the skills via Pipeline AZ and that platform. Both employers and job seekers can plan to receive assistance with onboarding and career navigation for no charge. Before we begin with our esteemed panelists, I'd like to share a couple of housekeeping items. Resources will be provided to each registered participant after this webinar. So what you listen to and hear about today, you'll find some more information in your email. The job matching component starts today and goes through February 23rd. And if you haven't already done so, please complete your profile to participate in the job matching event. And you can find that at westmarc.pipelineaz.com, and we'll drop that into the chat for you. Now I'd like to introduce our esteemed experts. Our first industry subject matter expert is Steve Cramer. He's the Executive Vice President of Newbridge Business Solutions. A little bit about Steve. As a leader in enterprise customer service organizations for 15 years, Stephen focuses his experience and expertise in leading both domestic call centers and international customer service sites. His background enables call center organizations to increase productivity and quality through streamlined processes, procedures, and technology. Through his organizational and industry leadership, he advocates for the advanced development of the contact center industry with effective training and education in the local community. These efforts reflect his leadership in national, state, and local organizations and industry. Steve, welcome.
Thank you very much, Christine. I appreciate the opportunity today to present. So I'm going to grab the board here. So my name is Stephen Cramer. So as Christine mentioned, I lead several organizations here in Arizona as well as nationally. I'm the president for the North American Customer Service Management Association, and I also sit on the Phoenix Workforce Board under Arizona at Work. And so with that being the case, have the opportunity to do a lot of good community work to support Arizona and the counties within the state. What is going on today in the contact center industry, which is our focus, is a change in workforce and how the development of the workforce is occurring, not only in Arizona, but across the country. And so it's impacting how people are educated, the processes and procedures, and the technology that is utilized. And so with that being the case, the Advanced Business Services group that we head up here with the City of Phoenix and Maricopa, and then with the Phoenix Workforce Board, really focuses on how to support the contact center industry within our state and within the Valley. How we do that is through the development of individuals to understand the industry. And so, for example, we have a program that we utilize with the Advanced Business Services for the City of Phoenix program, which is a federal funded program through WIOA funding. And what this program does is it enables students who are coming out of high school or people who are wanting to retool themselves and go through a training program 1 week, 5 hours a day. And what it does is it helps them understand how the industry can support them and their career goals going forward. One of the things that people ask quite often is what type of opportunities there are and what are the pay rates. The opportunities that are out there are pretty much any corporation that has an 800 number. And that's pretty generic because the customer service or contact center industry, as we call it now, because they handle text, social media, in addition to voice, is very broad. And so what that means is it depends on the type of industry that you're in, relates to the salary that results. What we focus on is helping folks to understand how they fit with their personality, their experience, and their background into the industry so that they can be successful in the industry. So we talked to them about the 15 different types of contact centers that are out there, and then they go through the process during that week of understanding how they communicate and the interaction that goes on, not only through technology, but verbally, et cetera, so that they understand how they can be successful in that industry. The industry right now has a strong need for individuals that are developed for contact centers, everywhere from healthcare, financial services, technical support. All these are contact center related organizations. So with that being said, it goes into a conversation of not only how do I fit into the organization, what organizations are available, but then it goes in subsequently of where do I sit. So it's a situation where we actually work through the process with the City of Phoenix, not only to help these people find a position, working with Pipeline AC and some of the others, but also, how does their organization enable them to be successful from a locational perspective? Meaning, now that I have a job, I understand the job that I want to be in. Am I going to be in an office environment or am I going to be at a home environment? And so we also help these organizations and individuals be in a situation where they can, what we call a Neighbors at Work program. And our Neighbors at Work program, here we go, just bring that up real quick. Neighbors at Work program is a program we work with corporations and individuals to help them be more successful in their home environment, which has become their work environment. And so we want it to be not only a healthy environment for them as an employee, but also for an employer and also for their family as well. And so it's a situation where the entire dynamics of this industry is completely changed, as we all know. Our focus here at Newbridge has always been virtual environments. From my experience with Verizon International in the Caribbean market, I ran the wireless and landline customer service, contact support, and receivables management out of Puerto Rico for 4 years. And so being in a hurricane zone and then also living in Houston for 15 years, running the wireless call center for Verizon there, we always had to be prepared for a virtual environment set up because of the hurricane zone that we worked in. That being the case, our organization has always been focused on virtual environments for the Department of Defense, for the Kentucky Derby, et cetera. And so this environment with the COVID-19 and the forcing of individuals to be in a home environment has really supported the effort that we've had for many, many years. And so what's also happened in this industry is that the opportunities have expanded. So with people being in a work from home environment, now they have locational freedom. because they are not tied to a location based on where their employers are. So to summarize, there's 4 different things here, right? It's an opportunity for people to work and live where they want to, number 1. Number 2, it gives them the opportunity to expand their horizons because now they're not restricted by transportation requirements, meaning do they have a car, do they not have a car, or do they have public transportation. They have the ability to develop themselves in their home environment and with an employer that's a more advanced employer that they may have not had an opportunity in the past, and they have the opportunity for wage growth. So the virtual contact center environment has become a great opportunity for those who previously could not get into this type of environment because of all those different reasons, but now it's expanded this business dramatically. Thank you, Christine.
Stephen, thank you so much for your presentation. And just a quick word to our audience, there's a chat box feature that you have today that you can drop questions into or comments for our speakers, and we're going to host a Q&A session in just a little bit. So I just wanted to call your attention to that. Next up, we have Discover Financial Services, and we have Renee Harris, who's the lead events and diversity engagement specialist. And we have Yvonne Carrillo from Talent Acquisition. She's an associate recruiter at Discover. Welcome.
Much. So today what we wanted to do is just basically give an overview of Discover. We are so excited to be a part of this conversation and hoping that this will give many of the folks on the phone a little bit more insight into what opportunities we offer, as well as just knowing that we are right in Phoenix's backyard. So giving some perspective there as well. So good morning. As mentioned, my name is Renee Harris, and I am the Diversity Events and Engagement Specialist. I actually report up through our employment brand team, which is responsible for brand awareness and recognition with some of our brand products and employer brand. And then I also have Yvonne Carrillo on the call as well, who is one of our associate recruiters that sits in our Phoenix office. So here I just wanted to kind of start out by providing an overview of our company mission. So our mission as a company is to help people spend smarter, manage debt better, and save more so that they can achieve a brighter financial future. And our Discover values are basically what we believe in as a company. They are non-negotiable promises that we make to our customers, our shareholders, and our communities, as well as to one another. And then our Discover behaviors are how we get things done, and they are just as important to us as our values. So here, I just wanted to do a quick overview of just some of the awards that we've received as a company over time. So of course, we're very proud of a lot of the recognition that we have received for our consumer products, but more importantly, we take a lot of pride in being a top employer. And many of the awards that you see on your screen here are awards that we were given based upon our employees' feedback, right? So talking about those values and those behaviors, these awards really just make us so proud because they just show that we do walk the walk and that we are being ranked by our own employees as some of the top places to work. So, you know, if it's the Chicago Tribune magazine, if it's, you know, Arizona Central, these are things that really kind of show the walk and the talk of the values and the culture that we want to create and present at Discover. Here, I just wanted to kind of outline to give an overview of just how big our company is. So not many people are familiar with the fact that we are a global brand. We do have over 18,000 individuals that work for Discover across several different locations. Our headquarters is based out of the Chicago area, but as mentioned, we do have call center locations, and one of the larger ones being there in Phoenix. And we do have opportunities that span across several different departments within our company. So for people with many different disciplines and backgrounds, there are opportunities at Discover for folks no matter what your background and your discipline is. So from technology and engineering to our very large banking and customer service teams, we have fraud protection, marketing, sales, human resources. So this is just an overview so that folks have a better idea of what we offer as a company. And also, I wanted to go into a little bit more detail. I know that as a brand, we have a very strong awareness in the market for folks to be familiar with, our consumer products, right? So lots of folks very familiar with Discover Card, our Discover It card, our cashback card. Some of these are things that we've been very well known in the industry for, but not a lot of people are familiar with all of the other departments that we offer, right? So Discover is a full service bank. And we do offer banking products. So as you can see, we have checking, savings, money market accounts. We also have lending services. So those span across student loans, personal loans, home loans. And then we also have our own payments network, which is very unique to us as a company. And so again, just explaining that our company is much more than just a credit card. And being that we have opportunities in all of these spaces, it presents the option for folks to have skills and work for us in all of these different departments across all of our locations. I wanted to also draw attention to one of our educational benefits that we're most proud of. So back in 2018, Discover did launch our Discover College Commitment Program. This is through a partnership with Guild Education. And through this program, we've been able to offer a few different educational benefits to our employees. So in partnership with the universities that you see here, we are able to offer eligible employees fully funded degrees. As you see, you would be able to be eligible for 100% coverage of tuition and fees if you are a part of the college commitment program and you partner with one of the universities within our network. And then choosing from a broader network, we do have a larger selection of in-network educational programs that are also eligible for partially funded degrees. And so this is just an opportunity that we want to call attention to because it's definitely something that we encourage our employees to participate in. And it's also just a great way to show that Discover is committed to continuing to enhance our employees' educational goals while they, pursue their career aspirations at Discover. So I definitely encourage those on the call to just visit discover.guildeducation.com to learn more about this wonderful program that we offer our employees. And then here, what I wanted to do is just quickly highlight some of the hot jobs that we have available in Phoenix right now. So in addition to these 3 jobs, if you visit jobs.discover.com, you'll definitely be able to see a more comprehensive list of all of the programs and features that are some of the jobs that we're trying to highlight, but we definitely wanted to kind of start here with these 3 positions. So we do have Yvonne on the call, so if you have questions about any of these roles, she would be one of the lead recruiters that you could reach out to or ping a question, and she can definitely help answer. But this is just an overview of kind of what the skills and the requirements would be for these positions. So these are roles that are currently remote opportunities because Discover is currently having our employees work remotely due to COVID, but they will be based out of our Phoenix location. So as you can see, we're looking for personal bankers, always looking for very strong customer service employees to kind of help field calls through our call center. So this would be folks that are looking for, starting student loans or within our banking service. And then also our senior mortgage underwriter position. As most folks know, a lot of demand right now with everyone trying to refinance homes and things like that. So we're definitely looking for some strong talent to be able to fill these positions. So again, we encourage you all to apply if you have the skill set that we're looking for, and just take a look at the other job opportunities that we have at jobs.discover.com. And that's all I have. The last thing I just wanted to do is encourage everyone to try to follow us on our social channels. We are on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and LinkedIn. You will find more about some of the news and events that are going on with Discover, as well as other job opportunities on our social media channels. Thank you.
Thank you so much for your presentation. And I just want to remind our audience that if you have questions for our presenters, please drop them in the chat box. We are going to head into a Q&A right after our next subject matter expert. I'd like to introduce Liz Recchia, who's a Government Affairs Director with WeSERV Association of Realtors, serving the West Valley, Pinal, and Cochise chapters. A little bit about Liz. She has experienced real estate from many sides, as an agent, an investor, as a renter, a broker, and a buyer and a seller. She started fixing houses at age 21 and became a real estate agent, and later was the owner broker of her own real estate brokerage. She's worked in commercial and residential real estate, in traditional and distressed markets. Liz currently owns WeSell Real Estate School of Real Estate, and is the WeSERV Association Realtors Government Affairs Director, serving members in West Maricopa County, Southeast Maricopa County, Pinal, Cochise, and Santa Cruz, and advocating to local government for private property rights and the right to private contract in business. She's a speaker, facilitator, and the author of Help, I Can't Make My House Payment. Liz, welcome.
Thank you. Well, think about your day. Think about from the time you get up to the time you go to bed. All the things that are around you. You're getting up off of a mattress, you're living in a house, an apartment, going to riding in a car, you're riding a bus. You selling flowers along the and things somehow, someday connect to real estate. So the West Valley is booming. As you look around, you start to see those opportunities right before your very eyes. And some of the opportunities you can't even see yet because they haven't come up out of the ground, but they are there for you to look at. Would you like to help people find their first home, or forever, or find an investment home for them, for stream of income in their retirement, or to help them build their business? We have a shortage of homes right now. But what you don't see is there's about 25,000 homes ready to be built. And as you drive around the West Valley, you'll see that farms that were there last January are now bustling neighborhoods right now. So that's how fast housing is being put. Well, let's think about some other needs that people have, you may even have. And right now we're on the internet, and one of the big things is data storage. And we are home in the West Valley to several big data centers. Drive down Buckeye Road, drive up Litchfield, drive across on Yuma, go up Dysart, and you're going to see massive, massive buildings that are those data centers. So when you save to the cloud, when you click that button, there's an X, you are saving your data right here to a building in the West Valley. Think about physical needs and wants. And there's a variety of them. And you can think about your own needs and wants, and you know that that extends to other people. The delivery of goods. Well, those delivery of goods came from a building somewhere on a piece of ground. How about the mattress you slept in? Well, Simmons, Serta, and King Coil are right here in the West Valley making those mattresses. How about food growing, food distribution, think Safeway, Fry's, other types of distributors, and even luxury goods like May's Fine Chocolate right here in the Valley. Think medical supplies and medical distribution. Think aerospace parts. Think logistics. Think about cars, automobiles. How about those energy drinks you like? Yeah, manufactured right here in a building on real estate in the West Valley. So pretty much anything you see or touch has a connection to real estate. And that's your opportunity. Not only things above ground, but there's opportunities below ground. There are mineral and water rights below the ground. And how about above the ground? There's air rights. That's where billboards go and cell towers go. So think dimensional. We're not just a building on the ground. It's vertical and it's also horizontal. Those are all opportunities. The opportunity you have in real estate is to own your own business, designed by you, created by you, for the life you want to have. And that can change over the arc of your career, depending upon what it is you're interested in and what it is you want to do. So as you serve other people's needs, you will find your business kind of creates and changes as you change within your own life. So with that means that you are building on your own assets of your intelligence and your knowledge and your time and your labor and your gifts and your talents. And when you do that, you're facilitating others to accomplish their goals, whether it's economic or social or emotional, and a lot of times it's even charitable. And you can help make that happen. Because real estate isn't about the money so much as it's about the people involved. What do they need? What do they want? And what are their goals? So with that, our country was founded on several principles, but two core principles were the right to private property. And that means if you own property, yes, you have a bundle of rights, but if you're a tenant, you also have certain rights that you negotiate through contract. And that right to private contract is key to us, because that's how we establish your property rights or your tenant's rights as you lease. And that's what we do in our business, is we help you negotiate that world. So what is your niche? You're going to have to find a niche, a part of real estate that you're interested in. And that could be agricultural, it could be industrial, it could be manufacturing, it could be residential, it could be R&D, research and development, in food, in medicine, in transportation. How about water distribution? How about wastewater? How about the ability to look at religious institutions? They need places as well, and educational institutions. How about the energy? Think solar farms and wind farms. Those sit on land. How about mineral and mining rights? All those things we need. And so as you look at this, you can look at the industry and you can just see how big and broad it is. It's real estate agents and brokers. It's also appraisers and lenders. But once you get licensed, there's a lot of different avenues for you to go if you decide to be an agent or a broker. And those avenues can be the person who company and looks forward and says, what is going to happen in 5 years or 10 years or 20 years? Where do we need to be land acquisition wise so we are set for the growth that comes? As you look around the West Valley, you see people building on land that they acquired 20 years ago because they thought ahead. So you could be one of those people. You can help people value their portfolios. I used to help lenders and investors value their portfolio. I have this real estate. I don't know what it is or how much it's worth. What do I do with it? That's a great way to have a career. So there are so many ways for you to have a career, depending on what you want to do. There are people who work to help business or government locate sites that they need to service, whether it's in the urban core or outside of that. So the question you always get is, how much money can I make? And the answer is, how much would you like to make? It's according to your work and your diligence. And I will tell you, consistency is key. So let's look at real quickly the basics you need in order to get a real estate license in Arizona. You need to have 90 hours of real estate education provided by a school who is accredited by the Department of Real Estate. And you can find that list on the Department of Real Estate's website. All the accredited schools, so 90 hours of education. And then you need to pass that school real estate test. And you need to submit a fingerprint card for clearance. And then you need to take a contract writing class. So you're at least familiar with the most basic contracts that you'll be working with. Certainly it doesn't give you an overall knowledge of everything in depth, but it gets you started. And then you need to know that every 2 years you need to renew that license, and you'll have to take continuing education classes to renew the license. You need to be 18 years of age, which means you can take these classes and pass these tests at 17, and on your 18th birthday, you can go into DRE, pay them their fee, and submit your application and become a licensed real estate agent. After you do all of that and you pass the state test, then you can actually go into the Department of Real Estate and apply for that license. So what does it cost? Well, real estate is very, very affordable to enter, and you control your own business and costs. So to start out with everything I just listed, you're going to be running somewhere between $585 and $750. The 90 hours of school, that's going to run you somewhere between $450 and $600, depending on the school you choose and the course package you decide you want. The state test is $75. And then when you go to DRE and submit that license, they're going to have a license fee, and that's $60. In order to maintain your license and renew it, well, that 24-hour CE, you can get all of it if you shop around carefully. You can get all of it for free. You can spend as much as $100 a class. So it's really up to you what you need and want for your CE. And then when you go to renew your license every 2 years, the DRE is going to charge you $60. So what I always tell my students is during school, assess abilities, assess your interest, because that's the starting point for your business. And after you get your license, you're going to interview with a broker, because in Arizona, to be a salesperson, you have to hang your license with a broker. Well, you're going to interview that broker, and you're going to interview that broker like a business partner, because they are your business partner. That broker is going to help you build your business. So it's important that you know what you know that you need to have, or ask questions. You do things. How do I find a client? How do I take a client from the time I first meet them through the arc of the transaction to close of escrow? If you need those things, ask your broker what they can do to help you with that. And then tell the broker what you bring to the table. What knowledge, what insight, what understanding, what do you bring so that that broker can better help you create your business? And I'm going to encourage you, dream big, because you control it all. You control every bit about it and the timing of it. So for an example, in my career, I worked with new home buyers, I worked with first-time buyers, I worked with move-up buyers, I worked with retirees and empty nesters, I worked with small investors, I worked in the distress marketplace with people who were going through probate, they're executors or executrix going through probate. I worked with people who had to do short sales or REOs, that's foreclosures, so I was a foreclosure agent. I worked with people who were going through bankruptcy. I worked with people who were trying to acquire land and build a portfolio that would eventually pay them a stream of income when they retired. And I helped people who had been retired for a while and were no longer interested in managing that property to start liquidating that portfolio as well. You can do a lot, and you can do whatever comes within your interest and how you build your business. I had a small group of investors who used to go out, take options out on agricultural land for projects, either commercial or residential. We knew we're going to be needed in that area 2 to 5 years out. Interesting people, interesting projects, a really amazing part of my life. You can do that too. I was a problem solver, and that was what people were looking for. And that's what they always are looking for, a problem solver who them. So if you're that person, this is a great area for you to be in. Most of all, be able. There are a lot of good people in real estate. And here's the best part, good people tend to do business and hang out with other good people. So make sure you're doing business with good people, and you will have a fantastic career, and your clients will love you because you will be serving them well. So if you would like to be a person who helps other people accomplish their goals and their dreams, then I really encourage you to become a real estate licensee.
Liz, thank you so much for your presentation. We appreciate that. I might want to change my career after listening to you. So, audience.
There's always places. Oh, yes.
Yes. So, audience, we are at the Q&A point in our webinar this morning, and we'd love to hear from you. So we are at the Q&A portion. We'd love to hear your questions. There's one in the box, but please drop some in there. So the first question we have is from Cheryl Covert, and she is asking, can companies in cities outside of Phoenix utilize this program through WIOA? And I think that question is for Stephen.
Yes, we work within all the counties within the state of Arizona, Texas, Oklahoma, and Florida. So yes, it is available throughout the state.
Fantastic, thank you. I don't see any other questions in our chat box. I'm going to give everybody 30 seconds here to drop something in. We had some great presenters this morning. Thank you so much. We're going to continue on here in just a moment. But if anybody has a question, please drop it in the box. Okay, we'll leave the chat box open. Please feel free to utilize it. For any of our presenters, they'll stay with us and can answer at the end of our next presentations. We're going to come back to Stephen Cramer to talk a little bit about certification and training programs. So Steve, I'll turn it over to you. Perfect. Thank you so much, Christine. So the training programs and certifications that we have within the contact center industry are association approved. So in the case of the program that we're talking about that's approved by the state of Arizona and the federal program as well, it's certified by the North American Customer Service Management Association. We also have, which is validating that the program provides an overall view of the industry. It gives basic knowledge of how to be successful in the industry and then how to career path within the industry itself. From a skills perspective, we refer these individuals off for typing skills, computer skills, off to other programs that are within the Valley and within the state. We have a program that we're rolling out here in 2 months, which is a coding program that relates to the contact center industry as well. So not only do these individuals have the ability to be certified to be a customer service agent, but they also have the ability then to go to a coding class to understand how to actually make the systems within the contact center industry talk amongst themselves into custom functionality, which has become greatly desired in this industry, considering that everything is a software as a service type model, which we are on today. The webinar today we have is all software as a service. There are folks on the backside that write JavaScript and custom API codes to make what we're doing today function. Within the contact center industry, that is a large requirement today, whereas even 9 months ago it was not as much, but today it's paramount. So we have that program for certification as well. So those are the 2 certifications that we have available for individuals in the state of Arizona. Fantastic. Thank you so much. We are going to continue in our education and training pathways with another partner from Glendale Community College. We have Rachelle Hall with us. Rachelle is a 21-year faculty member at Glendale Community College, and she's been serving as the department chair for Business and Information Technology Department for the past 2 years. Rachelle teaches classes in computer information systems, Microsoft technology, management, and general business. She earned her master's degree in public administration from Northern Arizona University and has a dual bachelor's degree in business administration and management from Ottawa University. She's held many positions in addition to her residential faculty position during her tenure as interim dean of strategic planning and projects, director of assessment and review, and occupational program director. Rachelle, welcome.
Thank you, Christine, and thank you all for having me. This is quite the opportunity for everybody, and I hope that you are able to get all of your questions answered. And if not, like they mentioned earlier, please throw them in the chat or feel free to contact one of us if you have further questions in our areas. So as far as the advanced business services go, let's see if we can get this to move through. Okay, sorry, technical issues, of course. There we go. I'm going to go back a couple now. I think I'm on a little bit of a delay, so I apologize for that. But starting out, some of our programs that we have to offer at GCC also work with the other guest panelists on our call today. Stephen was mentioning different areas of the contact service and certifications. We offer quite a few of those throughout our department and also the college in general. We have programs in accounting, business, and also in computer information systems, cybersecurity, security, web design. So there's quite a few different areas in which you can take your education and partner with some of our West Valley employers and use those to the full extent. So as far as the partnerships go within our purview, is we had Discover Card on here a little earlier, and we have got a nice partnership with Discover. We started a cohort with them a couple years ago, and what it was we have a group of team leaders from Discover, and we as GCC go to Discover Card and teach them degree paths. So we actually take our services to our local Discover Card there in Phoenix, and we've got quite a program. You're going to hear from Mr. Small here in a little bit from NAU, where we have coupled with them. We started out with a certificate. They earned their 2-year degree, and now they're moving on to their 4-year degree, and we're starting another cohort of their team leads, providing them this opportunity as well. I go back. I'm not quite sure why it's flipping around there. We have partnerships with ASU as well through our MAP program and our ABUS. We have a Microsoft Data Center Academy. We are partnering with Australia Mountain. I'm not sure if you were on the cyber call through this organization, but Paula Livingston is our lead at Australia Mountain, and we're partnering with them. And we are developing a Microsoft Data Center Academy in partnering with Microsoft. We are literally offering full ride scholarships for those who would like to participate in this program. We started our first test cohort, and they begin in the spring. And so it was kind of exciting for us to be able to do this in partnership with them. We also are developing an IT hub, if you will, in the West Valley. West Valley IT and Advancing Technologies Institute, where we're not only teaching the cyber portion of it, but we're also advancing technologies into AI and a lot of different development in programs there as well. Some of our different, I'm not going to go through all of these because as you can see, we've got quite a few here, but touching in relationship to what some of the previous presenters were talking about. For example, Liz was mentioning real estate. We have 2 classes that we offer in real estate principles as well as contract writing. And so we are certified through the state of Arizona to be able to offer these classes in the structured certification area, so that we abide by all the laws and regulations there, of course. And we're able to offer quite a few different students the opportunity to get their real estate license. So in connection with Liz in her area, we can focus on that as well. Moving on to some of our computer information technologies. We've got degrees and yes, so much. Again, I'm not going to go to but again, all the details of this. But we have so many different areas in which we can provide leadership and provide education to our students in these different areas. We talked about cybersecurity last time, but we also have different things in certificates that will stack up into the degrees. So what we offer is we offer the student the ability to first start with a certificate that gets them in the door, so to speak, and then they can start providing different levels of education, because we call them a stackable degree, so that they can stack their information and just continue to grow and hit those milestones and be able to offer different employability skills through our West Valley. We talked about certifications with Steve, and we have several different types of certifications that are available through our industry. And we have a Microsoft Desktop Associate, so we can certify through Microsoft, and then that student is now able to administer and be able to help students with their paths when they talk about these contact industry or contact employment opportunities. And that kind of goes for all of this. Again, I know it's a lot to digest here all at once, but I just wanted to give you the opportunity to show you the different paths that we have available. see here, a couple other things I did definitely want to mention here as well is all of our scholarship opportunities. We have so many scholarship opportunities that are available throughout all of Maricopa Community Colleges, not just GCC. And because we have the pathways available to our students, if a student needs to take, for example, maybe they're going to take some classes at Phoenix College, and then they also want to take some classes at GCC, it's fine, because we've, over the past 2 years, we've had a huge effort in something called guided pathways to make sure that a student can take these classes at any of our 10 Maricopa colleges and still be able to receive the same curriculum, and that all transfers into one certificate or degree path for them. So we're very proud of our efforts that we've worked there. We want to make sure that we have consistency across our curriculum, so that provides our students with that broad range opportunities for them to be able to further their education and further their degree paths as well. Move on. For some reason, thank you. I don't know, I guess I'm just on a big delay here. Like someone said earlier, you become an IT specialist through GoToMeetings and Zoom and webinars and so forth, as we've worked accordingly. Our campus right now is mostly remote. We do have some in-person classes in the smaller class sizes. Because of COVID, we have to make sure that we abide by every single regulation that's available. But some of our classes in our CTE area, or our career and technical education, actually do require the student to have hands-on physical contact with some of this equipment, or you know, especially in our nursing area and things like that, to be able to provide that student with the actual real world scenarios. We don't want them to only be able to do it on a computer screen, or to be able to answer the correct questions, that type of thing. We need them to get their hands on this equipment and get their hands into the actual career that they're choosing. So although we are still, you know, providing a lot of our classes remotely, we also still are offering those that require that hands-on lab, so that they get that environment and they're well prepared when we partner up with some of our West Valley employers as we move through. I hope that gives you a nice big broad view of what we have available, but please feel free to contact me or any of our professors, and we'll be more than happy to answer your questions.
Rachelle, thank you so much for a great presentation, and hopefully our audience heard you emphasize the scholarship opportunities. So our next presenter.
They're very large right now, especially with our Microsoft.
Yes, yes. Our next presenter is Doug Small. Doug is with Northern Arizona University and currently serves as the Assistant Dean of Strategic Partnerships. His responsibilities include building educational partnerships with business, government agencies, and school districts to serve employees who are looking to enhance their career through advanced educational opportunities. Recently, Doug was asked to lead NAU's newly created Continuing Education Division, and this department serves working professionals who are seeking professional development opportunities for credit and non-credit programming, and that includes badging, micro-credentials, and certificate options. Doug, welcome.
Thank you, Christine. It's a pleasure to join all of you this morning in discussing NAU and what we're doing in the West Valley to promote and build today's workforce, especially in advanced business services. And so I am really thrilled to be here to share some of this information with you. And I think it's very appropriate that I followed Rachelle, not only because she's an alumna of NAU, but also because of the partnership programs that we have with Glendale Community College, and I'll be sharing a lot about that throughout my presentation. And when many of us think about NAU, I think automatically we go to Flagstaff, and that's where our campus is based. And we think about pine trees, mountains. We may not think about NAU and what we're doing across the state to serve workforce needs. And we're doing quite a lot, and as well as in the West Valley. And this slide that you see right here is our North Valley campus, which is actually also in the West Valley at I-17 and Greenway. So as you've traveled up and down I-17, or maybe you weren't traveling, but you were stuck in traffic, you may have seen our building. And so we're right there on I-17 and Greenway. And at this facility, we have classes that take place here. We have a computer lab. We have faculty that teach our programs at this location. We have a financial aid person, as well as enrollment management coordinators to help students with that transition to NAU. And so this is really one of our larger sites that we have in off the campus in Flagstaff, actually, and it's located in the West Valley. We also have staff and academic programming that is based on the community college campuses. And so that's exciting for us because we have a partnership model. And so our idea when we deliver programming off the campus is to work with our community college partners to form these real streamlined and affordable pathways to help students finish their education, to complete the first couple of years at a community college and then their last couple of years with NAU. And I'll talk more about some of those programs in a minute. But here you see Mike Werner. He's our enrollment management coordinator at Glendale Community College, and then Dita Webster, who works for us at Estrella Mountain Community College. So they're full-time NAU employees on those campuses. And it's their job to support students with the whole process of helping to outline their pathway from the community college to NAU so that they don't lose any credits whatsoever. They help those students with admissions, applications, scholarships, and financial aid, so that those students are ready to come to NAU in whatever modality they want to. If they want to stay and earn their degree from NAU at Glendale Community College or Estrella Mountain, they can do that. They can enroll at NAU online, and they can also go up to Flagstaff. And so we have these kinds of individuals on all the community college campuses to help students transition to NAU in a way that meets their needs. Some of the academic programs that I'll discuss that serve the advanced business services industry, they all have this kind of foundation to them. And so they all help develop your durable skills. Some people call them soft skills. Others call them durable skills because they're skills that can carry with you through a whole career. And they don't really expire. That skill set doesn't really expire. And so some of those skill sets are written communication, presentation skills, computer literacy, so having that foundation of how to understand computers, as well as critical thinking skills so that you can take in information and process it and be a problem solver within your organization. Some of the degree programs that we have that are specifically serving the West Valley and advanced business service employees are business administration, which is an online program, but it's a traditional business degree with accounting and finance and economics and those kinds of classes. We offer a communication studies program right on the campus of Glendale Community College. So you can do 2 years at Glendale and then transition and stay right at Glendale and earn your NAU degree. We have a strategic leadership program, which is a cohort-based model program, and I'll talk more about the cohort model. This is a degree program that we're working with Glendale Community College and Discover Card on that pathway, and Rachelle referenced that, and I'll talk more about it in a minute. And then we also have a master's degree in organizational leadership, and this program has an emphasis with an extension in organizational leadership or project management. So if you already have a bachelor's degree and you want to earn that next level of a degree, this is a great degree that really can fit with any level of baccalaureate preparation. So when we talk about, you hear a lot of times higher ed talking about we're flexible, we're affordable. And here's what it means for NAU when we talk about flexibility. So for working professionals, what we do is we offer our courses in 8-week sessions. And so that allows a professional to take one at a time if they choose. And so they can complete 2 in a semester, in a 16-week semester by taking 1 each 8-week session. Or they may want to accelerate that and take 2 per session and still take a full-time load, but it's only 2 at a time. So it helps students manage their lives, their personal lives, their working lives, their academic lives at the pace that works best for them. And so they're shorter courses that help working professionals complete their degree in a little quicker pace. We have cohort options, and again, I'll talk a little bit more about those, but this is essentially where NAU can bring our degree programs to your organization. We bring our degree programs on site to different locations to make it convenient for working professionals to earn their degree. We offer in-person options like at the community colleges or at an organization or online, whatever meets your needs. Another item of flexibility is that we transfer up to 90 community college credits into our program. And that's somewhat unique because that's the maximum amount of credit that we can transfer into a degree and still call it an NAU degree. So we require 30 credits be earned from the university. And what we've done is we have certain programs that will accept up to the 90 credits from a community college. And that lends itself to affordability too. You can max out your time at a community college. And again, it provides a real affordable pathway. And I'll talk about that affordability next. And then this last point, competency-based learning options. So we have programs that are competency-based. They're not based on seat time and how much time you spend in a class, but how much you're learning and when you're learning it. So you're in control of that learning. You set the pace for your learning in that course, and you complete assignments based on your own learning and your completion of them. So it's not an instructor or a course setting those deadlines, you're setting those deadlines for yourself. And some of the flexibility that comes with that is that we have starts every Wednesday. Students can start this program every Wednesday. It's online. There's a self-paced, like I mentioned, and the affordability with this program is that it's only $3,000 per 6 months. So within a full year, calendar year, it would be $6,000. And that's fully inclusive, which means no extra fees, no textbook charges. It's $3,000 per 6 months or $6,000 per year. And as Discover discussed, their tuition reimbursement is $5,250 per year. So there would really be very little out of pocket with this kind of program for individuals that have tuition reimbursement, and especially if it's in that $5,250 range. So real affordable, a lot of flexibility with a competency-based education. We call it personalized learning at NAU, and there are different degrees that are affiliated with that program. So again, a lot of flexibility with that modality. Talking a little bit more about affordability, these next 2 slides that I'll share will get to this point. So what we've done in the West Valley is we've created these dual enrollment pathways where we're working with an organization like Westmarc. So they're providing that career and technical education to high school students. And while that student is in high school and getting that career and technical education experience, they can also get college experience or college credit for that. And then they can transfer to Glendale Community College or Recchia Community College and earn their associate's degree there, or up to 90 community college credits, and then transfer to NAU to finish their bachelor's degree. So because they're maxing out their time at the community college, it creates this very affordable pathway. And then, as I mentioned, the competency-based learning options create a real affordability to your education. And so this slide gives you a sense of what some of those costs look like. So on the left side, what you see is more of a traditional model that we have at NAU, which is students essentially taking 2 years of their curriculum at a community college, which is about 64 credits, and then taking the second half with NAU. And so at $85 a credit hour with the Maricopa Community College, it's a really great value. And at 64 credits, it's $54.40. With NAU taking our full-time enrollment for 4 semesters, it would be $41.83 a semester, but $16,732 for your 2 years at NAU. So that would equate to $22,172 for your full bachelor's degree, starting from 0 credits all the way to the completion. But we do have scholarship opportunities as well. And you can earn up to $12,000 in transfer scholarships through NAU. And so that brings that cost down to $10,172 under this model. So you can see it can be a really affordable option. And then on the right side with the 90-30 model that I've discussed, it's a little bit different, but you're taking 90 credits at $85 a credit hour. And you can see the math there at $76.50, only 2 semesters full-time at NAU because you've transferred in more credits. And so that cost is $16,016, but then you can get scholarship opportunities as well for only 2 semesters at this point. So the scholarship money is less, but the cost you can see comes out to about the same amount of money. So it can be a very affordable option for students to earn their degree through NAU and our partnership programs that we have with Estrella Mountain Community College and Glendale Community College. Now I'll talk a little bit about the partnership with Glendale Community College and Discover Financial. And so Rachelle talked a lot about that stackable pathway. And so Glendale Community College did engage with that relationship with Discover to offer the certificate program in organizational management. And then it went so well that they decided again to do the associate's degree. And then we heard about that relationship and we said, well, we could do the bachelor's program. And so those employees are earning 3 credentials within one program, all in organizational management and strategic leadership at NAU. That's the bachelor's degree that they're earning. And then, so they're getting a lot of leadership development throughout this program. The courses are offered on site during the lunch hour for Discover Financial employees. So it's really, really convenient for them. They don't have to go anywhere. They're just going to a classroom setting, a training facility right there at Discover. And then through this partnership program, they're maximizing their tuition reimbursement because the cost is very good. And so there's really little to no out-of-pocket expense for the students. And so it's been a really terrific partnership working with Glendale Community College as well as Discover Financial. I'll wrap up with a couple of slides that just highlight NAU's some different awards that we've received that connect to this conversation that we're having. So last year in 2020, we were the National Degree Completion Award winner through the Association of Public and Land Grant Universities. And so this award recognizes our efforts to help students not only start at the university, but finish their degree, the support services that come behind that, as well as the quality in what we're doing to help students earn their degree. And then lastly, in 2018, we were named the #1 best online college in the nation by Best Colleges. And so I think that speaks to a lot of what we're doing in the online world, not only with our traditional online classes, but our competency-based programs as well. So if you're interested in learning more, reaching out to me about our programs or partnership opportunities, this is my contact information. I'd be glad to talk with you more about these opportunities through NAU and how we can help you in the West Valley.
Doug, thank you so much for your presentation. And again, I'm encouraging our audience to drop questions in the chat box. We do have one before we move on to our next speaker, and I believe this is for Rachelle. The Microsoft database program is excellent and timely. Is this a certificate? How long is the program? And can someone from high school enter? Are there prerequisites? I think you're muted.
Yeah, we keep doing that, huh? There's several different levels regarding the data center certificates. They can be simply one class, or they can be a series of 2 or 3. The program can be up to a 2-year. If you register and you enroll in the program, it can actually be a 2-year program where you earn your entire associates along that pathway as well. We are a certified center on-camp testing and also CompTIA. So campus, we can provide you that opportunity at a, pay for the cost of your certification exams as well, because it is a complete full ride scholarship. So there are no fees out of pocket for the student. We do also do enrollment opportunities for high school students as well, and a lot of the Peoria and Glendale Union high school districts. So we have those opportunities as well. As far as a high school student, yes, we do offer those classes at some of the high schools. So please let me know, and as far as like what location you're in, and I can point you in the right direction there, and get you in contact with our dual enrollment program director, Michelle Ujak, and she'd be more than happy to answer any of the other questions regarding dual. Did I hit everything?
Yes, I believe that you did. Thank you. It's a great opportunity. Great question. Thank you. So great opportunity for those who are interested. Okay, I don't see any other questions at the moment. So we are going to move on to our next expert. From ASU, we have Dr. Laura Ferry with us. Dr. Laura is an associate dean tasked with advancing the research mission of the college, as well as developing new partnerships and industry collaborations to support ASU's community-focused mission. She works primarily with the research enterprise and the learning enterprise, which is comprised of lifelong learning, continuing education, professional development, and non-credit bearing learning. She works, again, primarily with research and the learning enterprises, which are sectors of the university, although some of her projects flow naturally into the academic enterprise. Under her purview is cybersecurity, the Cybersecurity Education Consortium, the Forensic Science Initiative, the Data Science Initiative, STEAM Education Scholarship, and Experiential Learning. New college undergraduate inquiry and research experiences, as well as a myriad of academic industry partnerships. In her role, she develops both student-focused and community-serving opportunities for innovation. Dr. Laura, welcome.
Thank you. I'm going to wait just a bit to make sure the lag is working, and I see I'm unmuted, so I successfully handled step one. I'm very grateful to be following Rachelle and Doug, who will make my job a little bit easier today. There's an aerial view of the West Campus there to start our presentation in case you didn't get to see the video at the beginning. The nice thing about this campus, nestled in as a part of Arizona State University, is we're part of the one university in many places model. So the West Campus is a little bit smaller campus compared to something like the Tempe campus or even downtown campus at this point. But we still host about 7,200 students, either online or in-person programs. And so it's still a bustling little campus filled with vibrant activities. It gives you a wonderful, full, well-rounded college experience. Do I have mouse control, Christine?
That would be KJ. Let's see if she can help us.
It seems to be grayed out for me. There we go. Maybe it's just catching up. So one of the things I want to talk to today is placing education at the interface of industry and workforce development. We also, and I see there is going to be quite a lag here. Okay. We try to offer relevant, and I'm going to highlight some of those today related to the subject of the day, career and degree pathways for in-demand occupations, creating access for industry. So speaking to the industry members in the audience today to work with students directly. And key here is also forming multiple entry points to education for learners at all stages of their career. I know we have audience members today that are looking to move straight into the workforce from their high school education, for example. They might have completed community college, for example, at Glendale Community College, like Rachelle spoke about, and be wanting to go straight into the workforce there. We want to be able to create a system where students can come in and out of their education as needed at the different stages of their life and of their career, and have that feel fairly seamless for them. We also want to be able to address skills gaps through partnerships. And so this might be because a person is entering a new industry or decided they need additional education in order to promote within their industry, or because the workforces are advancing and suddenly we find ourselves needing skills that we didn't know we'd need when we were graduating from college. So we want to address those skills gaps through partnerships with the industry directly. And lastly, we want to provide opportunities for what we call non-traditional or lifelong learning. So speaking first of pathways for in-demand occupations, the nice thing about being at the West Campus is it's a blend of a liberal arts education with 21st century workforce preparation. And I think you noted in the slides by Doug when he was talking about the NAU program that those programs have their heart and soul in things like communication, effective presentation skills. And it's the same thing, it applies here to talk about blending a liberal arts education. These are skills we used to give short shrift to by calling them soft skills. They're not soft skills, they're actually the essential skills to build any career pathway. And that's what you find when you have this liberal arts education as a basis. I wanted to highlight some of the degree programs here that you would be maybe given the audience members today the most likely to be interested in. These will hopefully pop up in just a second, but they're going to include degree programs like statistics degrees, applied mathematics, which is modeling, applied computing or cybersecurity, and we also offer a certificate program in data science. In the W.P. Carey School of Business, we've got your BA in business with concentration in information security, accountancy, statistics, as well as the BA in management. And from the Thunderbird School of Global Management, we've got the BA in Global Management and the BA in International Trade. And of course, these are programs where you can enter straight from high school or transfer from the community college, like Rachelle and Doug spoke about. But what's I think very interesting about our degree programs is there's access for industry to come and work with ASU students directly prior to graduation. And one of those ways is through what we call the capstone project or the capstone experience. Many of our degrees require this level of experiential learning. It could also be met through internships. In our statistics degree and in our cybersecurity degree in particular, we work with industry to create projects that students will work on in teams and develop a product for industry as a part of that educational experience, so that by the time they emerge with their degree, they have industry experience and they understand the field that they're entering. And very often the students become employed by the company they work with in their capstone project. So if you're an industry member in the audience today and looking for a way to connect with students, please feel free to reach out to me because we can engage you in one of these programs directly. So the entry points to education is a big deal to me because I know not everybody's educational path is purely linear, like we said. And so some examples of these partnerships that we're using to create multiple entry points, the first is through a program called Coursera. Through Coursera, we offer the online Masters of Computer Science, and there's specialties there in big data, which is data visualization and data analytics, and also cybersecurity. The hallmark of the Coursera program is that it utilizes stackable credentialing, but in much smaller chunks than we've previously thought of before in academia. So this is at the level of, say, you earn something like the CompTIA certification that Rachelle mentioned, and or another certification through Google. Google offers a number of certifications, or Microsoft. These can be then applied to parts of courses at the very even smallest level of stackable credentials that you can then build into full degree programs from there. Thinkful is a similar partnership. We're working with the Bachelor of Interdisciplinary Studies with specialties in applied computing and cybersecurity, again in that case. There's also a concentration in project management related to this Thinkful collaboration. Again, you can use courses that you might have completed outside of academia, small certification programs, for example, through other industries that can then be applied to the academic program and earn you progress towards your degree in this setting. And so these are what we call open scale programs. At your own pace, you can take one chunk at a time or multiple chunks at a time, and they're designed to provide these stackable credentials that Doug talked about, but at very small chunks at a time so that they align with the spectrum of needs that a learner might have in that moment. They might be working full-time and able to commit a very small amount of time to learning. They might be able to commit full-time to learning. And they can use some of these types of programs to address skills gaps that they might be experiencing in the workforce. But we have additional partnerships that are designed specifically to look at skills gaps. One of those is through the ASU Comm Lab. I'm thrilled to see so many people talking about Discover today, because the Comm Lab also has partnered with Discover. It's nice to have them on the call, and creating custom communication and education and training programs for Discover's employees to address some of those skills gaps. That was an example where we worked with the industry to build what that industry needed for their employees. On the flip side, we have partnerships with Trilogy Education Services, and these provide industry certified workforce, what we call accelerator programs, or the common nomenclature is boot camps. We currently have boot camps launched in cybersecurity, financial technology, and digital marketing is about to be released. You can find those through our CPE website, which is Continuing Professional Education, through the boot camps link that was shown there. All of these attempt to speak to a model that we understand that, particularly in today's marketplace, folks are universal learners, right? No longer is the time period where you would go to high school, go to college, maybe get a job, stay in that job for 30, 40 years, get your retirement, and move on. We frequently see learners that are changing jobs, changing careers, changing employers 6, 7, 8 times in the course of their career, and that might mean you need to pick up new skills along the way. And this colored chart here represents the spectrum of possible learners that you might see along the way here, starting from pre-K all the way to what we call the lifelong learner. At the end of the spectrum there is the Osher Lifelong Learning Institute. This is for members of the population who are 50 plus, which includes me now, that want to pick up skills, take a course at a very, very low cost with other fellow learners on something they just would like to know more about. But everything in between includes degree seekers in this continuing professional education space, in the boot camp space, in the stackable credential space. So we have all kinds of paths, including this MAP path, the My Path to ASU, which Rachelle mentioned, for those learners wanting to transition from the community college to ASU. I want to mention too that we have a number of opportunities for students still in high school. We have a bunch of programs that we put under the umbrella called Summer Up. And these are meant to expose students to STEM careers and to college preparation, particularly in areas of forensic science, coding and artificial intelligence, and cybersecurity, including a host of others right now. Sorry, you hear my puppy in the background. And the point of exposing students to these is to make sure they understand the pathways that are available to them. And then here are some of those lifelong learning opportunities as well. These are non-credit bearing learning experiences for adults. These are typically taught by our university faculty, so they are authentic college experiences, campus-based when that's possible, as soon as we get through the COVID era a little bit farther, and include a number of public service initiatives. This can be rounded out through some of our efforts to support the community, and I just want to point you to a website called ASU4U at .asu.edu, where you can find a huge numbers of opportunities for all ages of learners. I wanted to highlight this because I know all of us are in work from home mode right now and have all ages of learners in our homes at this very moment. So if this is a resource that can help you figure out a pathway for a young person in your life, or for an older adult who's looking for something else to do, they can find information at this site. And that is the website there. And ending with my contact information here at the end, just want to emphasize on a closing note that we appreciate, again, that everybody's educational pathway isn't necessarily linear. People are going to move in and out of the educational space at different phases of their education, depending upon how their job needs change and how the industry grows. So ASU can be an affordable model for folks to jump in. The average tuition for an in-state student right now is around $2,200. So that's a great price point for being able to jump in and out. And again, at even lower price points if you want to start with some of those stackable options. Thanks very much.
Dr. Laura, thank you so much for your presentation. We do have one question. What is the cost of ASU for you?
Most of the items on the ASU For You page are completely free.
Awesome. Thank you so much. We are going to move into the next section of our webinar this morning, Workforce Development Resources. And I'd like to introduce Verily Keenan, who's with Arizona at Work, Maricopa. Verily is a business services representative with Arizona at Work, Maricopa County. Her career has spanned economic, business, and workforce development, and her past positions include Business Attraction Manager with the Arizona Department of Commerce and Employment Coordinator for the Refugee Program with Lutheran Social Services of the Southwest. Verily enjoys assisting employers with their hiring needs and working with job seekers to help them find employment. Verily, welcome.
Hello, thank you very much, Christine, and hello, everybody. I'm absolutely delighted to be a part of this event this morning. What amazing speakers, and I've certainly learned a lot. So again, my name is Verily Keenan. I'm with Arizona at Work, Maricopa County. And this morning, I'm very excited to share some information about our programs and services. So there we are. So Arizona at Work, Maricopa County. We are part of the statewide Workforce Development Network. We serve job seekers of all ages, backgrounds, abilities, skill levels, including veterans and those with disabilities. We provide services and resources to job seekers as they pursue employment opportunities. Our services to job seekers include helping them access Arizona Job Connection, which is a vast statewide database of employment opportunities. As well, we do assist employers to recruit, develop, and retain the very best employees for their needs. Our services to employers include providing labor market information, or LMI, posting their jobs on Arizona Job Connection, vetting candidates, extensively circulating their jobs through our internal and external distribution list, and last but not least, we do post their positions on LinkedIn. So I mentioned Arizona Job Connection. As you will see, this is the home page. And amazing statistic, statewide in Arizona, there are nearly 70,000 jobs, a huge amount of jobs. So this really is a great resource for job seekers, and of course, employers can post their jobs. So moving on, I'm going to talk about some of our job seeker services. I'm just going to start off by saying that we are encouraging all our job seekers to access our services online if possible. However, our career centers in Glendale and Gilbert remain open every business day during business hours. We do have reduced capacity, as of course we're observing social distancing, and we require all staff and customers to wear a mask. We have computers available for job seekers to use to search and apply for jobs, work on their resumes, etc. Additionally, there are many flyers that job seekers can pick up, including lots of information about job leads and training resources. So talking about job leads, our resource navigators compile weekly lists of updated job opportunities. They're sorted by city and town, and we send out updated job opportunities to our career advisors so they can share them with their job seekers. So moving on to career exploration. We help with career exploration by offering a virtual employment academy where job seekers can learn the very best career option for them. They can learn job search techniques, resume writing, interview preparedness, and job seekers can also learn about the Arizona Career Readiness Credential, or AZRC, which is an employer-recognized credential showing competencies in hard and soft skills. Another online course we're excited to offer is Resume Assistance, which just focuses on resumes. It helps job seekers create a very professional resume and cover letter. Another course that we offer focuses on interview techniques. So we do help with developing interview skills to prepare job seekers for success in their next job opportunity, and most importantly, of course, securing their dream job. So I'm going to talk about the next 3 points separately. I have slides for all of them. But before I move on, I'm just going to mention that, as I said, we are encouraging all our job seekers to access our services online. And as you can see, there is a link there, maricopa.gov/find-a-job, where job seekers can go and access all our services. So I'm going to mention our job blast. We're very excited about this because it's a great resource for job seekers. The job blast includes newly posted jobs and information about hiring events, training, and apprenticeships. So again, a really great resource for job seekers. And as you can see, it's very easy to sign up. So I'd encourage job seekers to do so. And then every week, twice a week, in your inbox, you'll have all this information. So I'd like to talk about Arizona Career Readiness Credential. This was an initiative by Governor Ducey. As it was recognized, many Arizona employers do have difficulty finding candidates with the foundational academic, personal, and technical skills needed to be successful. AZRC prepares job seekers for success by demonstrating their command of key hard and soft skills, and it assigns a level of proficiency. This is not an easy credential to acquire. It takes a lot of commitment and a lot of study. However, the great benefit is it's a recognized credential, a super addition to a resume. So now I'm going to talk about occupational skills training. We have access to federal funds available to qualified job seekers who wish to train or retrain for a new career. We have lots of trainings, including SIE, Security Industries Essentials, Business Accounting, QuickBooks, Risk Management, Accounting, and Contact Center. So again, we do offer many training courses through these funds. So we're very excited to talk about that. Moving on, I did some research about some top advanced business services jobs. As you can see, call center, customer service representative, there's a high number of jobs. No surprises there because I think typically call center contact centers have quite a high turnover. So that's not a surprise there. Then insurance sales agents, again, quite a lot of job opportunities. Insurance sales agents, of course, cover all types of insurance, including auto and health. And yes, many insurance companies are looking for employees. I'll move on to talk about financial sales agents. Again, there is a high demand. Of course, they help clients to select financial products or services, including banking services, credit cards, etc., including Discover, and help with investments. And again, there's demand for those jobs. I just wanted to add in at the bottom, real estate agent and broker. I know the number seems quite small. However, I think many real estate agents' jobs are by referral or word of mouth. So I think the actual number of available openings is much higher because, as we know, the real estate is really booming in this area, which is great and very, very positive. So that's good to know. So moving on, again, I did some research, and here are the top skills desired by employers. As you can see, they're pretty universal across all sectors. However, I do think analysis lends itself more to business services. So that's very interesting here, some of the top skills that are desired. And I'm going to talk about top certifications desired by employers. Again, I did some research, and in this sector, Certified Public Accountant or CPA, Certified Internal Auditor, Security Industry Essentials, or SIE, and as I mentioned, we do offer that course as one of our training courses. Then, of course, real estate license and real estate broker's license are very much in demand. So for assistance about AZRC certifications or any other programs, again, you can please reach out to us at maricopa.gov/find-a-job. If you please complete the online job seeker inquiry form, a member of staff will contact you. How that works is when we get the forms, they are given out to the best member of staff who can help the job seeker and help with their inquiry. So that is how you get in touch with us. And the last slide doesn't seem to be, oh, there we are. Try again. So here are my contact details. Please reach out to me if you'd like any more information about any of the programs or services that I've covered today. It's been a real pleasure to be here. Thank you very much.
Verily, thank you so much for your presentation. We appreciate it. Again, please use the chat box if you have questions for any of our speakers. And I'd like to introduce one of our very last experts today. She's going to be talking about employer and job seeker resources, onboarding and CTA. Katie Bellis from Pipeline AZ, welcome.
Thank you, Christine. Good morning, and thank you for your participation today. Pipeline AZ is a partner to the initiative, and we provide matching on a platform that includes the ability to build a resume and to create a profile that references your past employment or the job that you want to match directly to employers. So on Pipeline AZ, you'll be building a profile. To start the process, please visit westmarc.pipelineaz.com, and you'll see a landing page that invites you to create a brief profile. Registration is super fast. With the addition of your first name, last name, and email address, you'll begin to be able to build a dynamic resume that you can always update as a job seeker. And on a daily basis, you'll see jobs that are matched to you. So on any given day, we have about 40 to 60,000 jobs in the system. We're participating directly with employers to help them build job posts in Pipeline AZ so they can match to you with the skills algorithm. So they'll see you on their employer dashboard, and job seekers will be able to build a profile with corresponding skills. So building your profile starts with registration at westmarc.pipelineaz.com. And on this page, you can also see videos of past webinars for other industries, and today's video will be posted there soon. In top navigation, your job match profile is always available to be edited. And as you add information, you'll see jobs that are a more customized fit appearing for you. If you are still training for a role, or if you're in school and you don't have past work experience, you can add the job that I want in the left-hand column near your name and address. And that option will suggest skills based on your current training program, and will help you to identify employers who are helping individuals with internships or entry points to those employment opportunities. You can also upload your resume. We find that a lot of employers appreciate both your profile from Pipeline AZ as well as a resume that you may have already created as a PDF or a Word document. And as you're adding skills and certifications, skills that are similar to the job title as well as certifications and licenses can be searched in the database. So as Verily mentioned, the ACRC is a credential that is important inside of Arizona. You can actually search on ACRC and add that certification to your Pipeline profile and match to employers who are looking for that as a credential. And if you have an industry recognized credential or a certification, you can search the database and add that, layering the skills and the certifications that employers are seeking, and creating a more complete picture of yourself as a candidate. So Pipeline AZ is where you can return once that profile is created with an easy point of access to log in. In addition to building a profile, there's a quick interest profile, an assessment-based tool that will help you identify your top matching 3 industries and your top 80 careers. Inside of all of those careers, there's a wealth of information including salary averages, employers who are currently hiring, and education and training linkages. So you'll see recommended shorter term training and 2- and 4-year degrees for the career titles that you match to. You can always search for jobs that aren't appearing in your dashboard in career exploration by keyword or by employer. So if you have a career idea in mind, you can search in the system to see if that role is available or has been posted by an employer. And importantly, if you register through westmarc.pipelineaz.com, you'll immediately be connected to a career coach. These are professionals who have lots of experience in helping to refine your profile on Pipeline AZ and can offer suggestions in connecting with employers or finding additional matches once your profile is created. Thank you for your time today, and Westmarc.pipelineaz is a resource for you in connecting to employers as well as education and training described in today's webinar.
Katie, thank you so much. And I encourage you to use the chat box if you have questions for Katie. A question that came in during this last presentation is, will the slide deck be available after this meeting? And yes, it will. It will be available and it will be sent to you with the resources. So I know we are running a couple minutes over. We have just 2 more slides that I wanted to share with you. As part of the Maricopa Community Colleges district, there are employer resources and job seeker resources available to you. As an employer, there are training that's available on site at your location or remote. I know that a couple of our presenters talked about this earlier in terms of being at Discover and bringing that directly to you as an employer. You have access through the Community Colleges District to a digital alumni recruiting where employers can seek out talent from prior graduates of the community college system. It's a very cool pipeline and very robust. There's also job training for dislocated workers and then a concierge service. So for those employers that are on the line that have tuition reimbursement, and we know that only 10% of employees use their tuition reimbursement. And that sometimes is because it's a cumbersome process. So through the district, there's concierge services where a dedicated advisor will work with your employees to advise them on the pathways that are available. And then on the next slide, if you're a job seeker, there are a couple of resources, again, through the district for you to quickly gain some skills or start or advance your career. And you can find all that information at the website listed there, maricopa.edu.wioa. And as many of our presenters have discussed earlier, there are scholarships available and funding available, grants available. So please don't let that be a hindrance to continuing your education. I'd just like to thank everyone for joining today. This was a fantastic webinar. Thank you to all of our subject matter experts. Job seekers, please entertain the job matching that starts today through the 23rd of February with the information that Katie provided just a moment ago. And we just appreciate you joining today. And please reach out to any of our experts. Their contact information is listed here. And we wish you a good day. Thank you, everyone.
Bye.
Thank you.